Well, we are back right here on the Weekend Show, and I hope everyone is enjoying the program so far. Right now it's time to meet our guests that we have for you tonight on the Weekend Show. We have with us Mr. Abdullah Al-Fadl, who is a member of the Kuwait dive team, as well as the author of the recently released book, Birds of Kuwait, A Portrait. Abdullah, we'd like to welcome you to our program.
Thank you very much.
It's our pleasure for having you this evening. I know you're a very busy man. We thank you very much for joining us on a day off for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And Abdullah, recently the Kuwait dive team, which is made up totally of volunteers, successfully planted some coral reefs in the Kuwaiti waters. Tell our viewers about this achievement.
Well, we started this project about 5 years ago. During the cleanup of the islands of Kuwait, Al Maradim and Garo, we saw some broken coral reefs, so we tried to relocate them in a new area. But 2 years ago, with the opening of the Jabir reefs in Benadir area, after constructing the artificial reefs project with the Ministry of Energy, the Kuwait Oil Company and the Petroleum.
Okay.
We made some forms, concrete forms and architecture underwater, and we planted a reef, small coral reef on the concrete blocks. A couple of 2 weeks ago, we went to the same area, to the same place, to the same form.
Exact location.
Exact location, and we saw that the reef that we planted was growing, alhamdulillah, for 2 years
And it actually
now.
grew quite larger too, huh?
Very large, and this was really a great result.
Yeah, it is a great achievement
Yes.
for the Kuwait dive team,
Alhamdulillah.
working very hard on these various projects. I believe you have also some things that you could show us there dealing with some of these coral reefs, I believe, Mr. Abdullah.
These photos of the Kuwait underwater, these are all from Kuwait, and these coral reefs. As you know, the coral reefs are either hard or soft.
Okay.
These are hard, some of them are soft also. These are very nice images of the underwater of Kuwait.
Okay, yes.
And I will show where we planted the this is Sheikh Ahmed Al-Fahd.
Ahmed Al-Fahd, yes, the Minister of Energy.
The Minister of Energy.
Yes.
This is when we opened the Jabir Al-Kuwait reefs, October 5th, 2003.
Okay.
And at the same time, he planted, as you see here, he planted the first coral reef.
It's so tiny right there.
It's very tiny, and we use special material. It's cement-like to glue the reef.
To fix it into the block there, huh?
Exactly. This is the form here is Dasman gate. We made a form of cement or concrete, and it was the form of Dasman gate, we called it. And here Sheikh Ahmed planted this small piece. Now it's bigger, much bigger. The small
you
one.
were just talking about that a few seconds ago, how it got much bigger now.
And this proves that the planting of
the coral reefs.
Yeah, this is from the celebration of that day of opening of the Jabir Al-Kuwait reefs. And this is the form, as you see here. The form
the
here,
replica, yeah.
Yes, Bawab al-Dasman.
Yes.
And after some time, as you see here, this is concrete, artificial reefs. But
that's
after 1 year, it becomes natural.
Okay.
You know,
so natural, you can't tell the difference.
Exactly. The coral reef, they grow and become natural because the material we use is salt treated and specially made for the sea water.
Okay. Abdullah, could you please tell our viewers who may not know too much about coral reefs, what are coral reefs exactly and their importance to the, let's say, the environment, the marine environment?
Well, coral reefs, some say that they are like the lungs of the sea. They breathe and they are very important. They are animals. They are animals, and to grow, they need stability. They need stable place. Also, they need light. They're just like plants. They need light. And some of them are hard, some of them are soft, as we mentioned. But in Kuwait, we have a variety of coral reefs, and since Kuwait temperature is not stable like other countries, it goes from very hot in the summer to very cold in the winter. So what the kind of reefs we have in Kuwait are very important and unique in the world. So we have to take care of it and give it, we help it to grow.
And now the success, of course, of the one that was planted in 2003 by the Minister of Energy, Sheikh Ahmed Al-Fad Sabah, as we saw it there, it was so small, and now it has grown quite larger. Is that now going to encourage the Kuwait dive team to do even more such planting of coral reefs? Have you seen the success of what you've done?
Yes, it's very pleasant results, and inshallah, in the near future, we are planting more and more of the coral reefs all around the areas that are there's less
coral reefs.
Yes.
Do you have any more photos right there? That this is, of course, looking at this one was actually a coral reef that was planted by the Kuwait dive team. Is that correct?
Yes. And yes, and this is some kind of soft reefs.
This is a soft reef. This is also present in Kuwait, right?
Yes,
it's all These are all off Kuwaiti waters.
Yes,
and some of the marine life.
What we do, we document our reefs, because when we place a new artificial reefs, say around Kubbar Island or Garo, every few months we go there and we photograph it, we document it, so we know the development, how it's growing.
The stages of how it's growing and so forth.
Yes, very good.
And this one also, Mr. Abdullah, is also quite a large one there too also.
This is from Garo Island.
Okay.
And this is natural reef. You see, it's different form, but the ones we do are a little bit different. But with time, you cannot tell.
With time, you cannot tell what they will be like, huh?
Yes.
Okay, that is quite unique that the Kuwait dive team is doing that. And of course, the coral reefs, they do multiply and increase with time. Exactly. Is that correct?
Yeah, they grow and they spread through any hard surface. They cannot grow on mud or sand. It has to be hard surface, like rock-like,
Why is that? Why a hard surface?
They need stability. They need stability, and they build they grow with, I don't know how to explain it, but they need stability to grow.
They need that.
So if you have, and they grow very, very slow.